Are you lost?
Yeah.
You're on autopilot? Hey, I warmed that seat up for you.
You're the reason.
I warmed it up. You're the reason. How you doing? I was down your neck. Well, I had to go shopping for the old, for the 18 prom that we're talking about tomorrow. What are they building alongside of maybe five guys? Up on the top, they're working on it. Is that what they do? I thought they were building something.
Yeah, they're going. I haven't particularly seen that application. That's on the. I'll find that. We're going to recopy it.
Huh?
Yeah.
I don't know why they went out. Everybody opened up mall. Mall. Beautiful job inside. Don't get it every day. But I've seen how it's talking.
If anybody is planning on speaking about the rail cars, could you please sign in on the white sheet on the table? Thank you.
He said, you don't know what the hell it's for.
I've seen it.
CNC. I might go down and see. I thought he was up on Wednesday, so I went on Tuesday. Where else is off? He's not here. So I need my hand. So then he can't find it. Are you working today or are you going to go? What? I'm going to cut your hair. I said, yeah, I want you to cut my hair.
Water was there for a while.
Everybody's moving around. I heard that they was going to make some type of medical facility.
We talked about taking many centuries for that.
You're running down. I bet you're running all over.
Down there.
All right, we're about to begin our public hearing. Public hearing, of course, is a chance for the public to come up and have something that refers to the regulations or pros for the subject at hand or against it. And the planning board is here to listen to it during the public hearing. We try to keep it as orderly as we can, and then after the public hearing, then we'll go into our regular meeting. So if anyone does want to speak on for or against, please put your name, sign your name to the form we have up front here, and we'll take those in order as they're on the list there. You have a question?
Can you ask questions? I mean, I just want to, there's some information, I don't know what you're going to cover, but if we have a question at the end, can we ask questions?
Absolutely.
Okay.
During the public hearing, you can ask questions, but ask questions to the planning board.
Okay.
It'll keep it more organized that way.
Okay.
We don't want people shouting at each other.
At least they're hard of hearing. We put our name on the list for response.
No, you guys are.
No, you're the applicant.
You're the applicant.
He's now.
So for those who are not sure what this is all about, we'll have the applicant give a little spiel about it to you so that you have more understanding. We have a site plan?
I have to read the notice first.
Pardon?
I have to read the notice first.
Yeah. Do we have a site plan? Just want to have that on the table. Okay.
You ready?
Okay, Ann, would you read the notice?
Notice is hereby given that the Town of Shandaken Planning Board will hold a public hearing pursuant to 274 and/or 276 of the state law and as prescribed in the District Schedule of Area and Bulk Regulations of the Shandaken Town Code for the purpose of hearing the following application regarding a site plan review application submitted by the Empire State Rail Museum for a parcel located at 70 Lower High Street, Phoenicia, New York, 12464, indicated as SBL 1413-3-71.100 and 1413-3-31.200. The public hearing will be scheduled for Wednesday, May 9th, the Town Hall, 7209 Route 28, Shandaken, 6:30 p.m.
Thank you. Okay, will the Rail Explorers and/or the museum would like to come up and speak on?
Okay, I'm Paul LaPierre, I'm the board of the director of the Empire State Railway Museum. And we were approached several years ago by Rail Explorers to see if we would be willing to lease them a portion of our property for them to have their facility set up, which would be operating on the county-owned right-of-way. The activity takes place on the right-of-way. The welcoming center would be on our property. The site plan basically defines where their structures, all of which are temporary, would be located, and also defines a parking area. At the moment, they're doing this in 2 stages. They're getting their initial stage, which will be handling up to, I believe, 20 riders, which is 4 cars, 5 cars. And that will be stage 1, and that parking area is roughly half the size of the ultimate parking area. It's 50 by 100 feet. It can accommodate up to 20 cars. And then once they get their, they've had some experience and they get their feet on the ground with their operation, they're going to expand the parking area to roughly double that size. The buildings themselves, as I say, are temporary. The largest building is 10 by 20. It's anchored to the ground, so in the event of high water, which we've had through that area a number of times, it will not float away. It will be securely anchored, but yet it can be removed from its anchor points and taken away at some point. The other structures are a toilet trailer and a crew facility, which is another portable structure. and these are all located on our property. We have a lease agreement with them to use our property for a period of 5 years, which is also the amount of time they have a lease with the county. I'm happy to answer anybody's questions. We've done some ground improvements recently. We took down some abandoned buildings. We had 3 derelict buildings. We took them down on our own demolition permit. We have a floodplain permit, which allows us to build a parking area and improve the entrance to our property, which was done today, actually. And that's about it. That's the site plan.
Real explorers want to speak?
Hi, my name's Mary Joy, and Mary Joy Liu, and I'm the owner of Rail Explorers. We've been so excited to open up here and work with the Empire State Railroad Museum. As Paul said, it's taken several years to get to where we are today, and I just want to thank my crew. You've met, I believe, Michelle Davis, our division manager, and Patty Hanson, as well as J.R. Davis. They've been here on the ground for the past month and really learning about the concerns and the support that we've got here. Both, there are some things to, to take into account, and they've been terrific. So I just want to let you know that I completely support them and what they've been doing. They speak for me, and I totally agree with what they've been working on. We look forward to being a part of the community, and I believe that our partnership with the Empire State Railroad Museum is a very strong one. The work that they've done on their building is very impressive, and it's beautiful, and I think you'll all be very proud of the new and improved access for the community to the Phoenicia train depot. Thank you.
Okay, who do we have first?
Bob's out.
I want to check this map for a few minutes before I say anything.
Don, can we go down the site plan verbally so everybody here can hear it? Because a lot of the questions are going to be answered with this application.
Well, Bob's looking at that, or you
Okay.
want to see now?
Hi, Sam. Hey, you all know who I am. I have quite a few questions. I'm Bob Callaway. My first questions have to do with traffic in and out of the museum and this railroad and the parking. Now, when they first came here, they said there was going to be buses bringing people in here. Now, you have space there for 20 cars to park. How many of those spots are going to be handicapped? Because if they're handicapped spots, you're losing one spot for each of them, because a handicapped spot takes up 2 spaces, the handicapped spot and the entrance and exit alongside of it. The second thing is, if they have buses coming in there, how are they going to park in there? Because now you've got people that are on a rail ride, and now people that are next rides coming, you don't have facilities to handle all the cars for both rides. The second thing is, the entrance to that, from what I understand, is from the first entrance into Phoenicia, okay, up at the end of Lower High Street. That entrance has limited sighting because there's a turn coming off of Route 28, and it's a very narrow entrance going in there, so you're going to have buses turning in there and cars turning in there. When they come out of there, if they're going to come out the same way, it'll be very dangerous. So I'm recommending to the board that what you do is you have right turn only exiting the museum and the parking, so they have to exit on the Phoenicia end of the road, not the opposite end of the road, for safety purposes. Okay? My next question is about flagging. Who's going to train these people that are doing the flagging for this ride? They're going to be crossing Route 28, they're going to be crossing Andrews Lane, they're going to be crossing in front of the campgrounds, and there are other right-of-ways across those tracks in and out of the fields in the back. Plus, from April until November, you have fishermen crossing those tracks daily. How are they going to deal with these things? Okay? Now, as far as the thing going on Route 28, the county has seen in their wisdom to make that an exempt crossing. So school buses and gas trucks don't have to stop there anymore. All right, now, are they going to have some type of device to put on the rails when this rail ride isn't going so that these cars cannot go across that intersection when there's no flagman there? And are the flagmen going to be posted at these crossings all while these rides are going on? Or are they going to be riding on the cars like they said and then posting them as they come up? Okay? They're serious questions, a lot of public safety issues involved here, and you better be aware of them. Thank you.
Tom Fraser?
We can answer questions.
No.
No,
Let's
we listen.
try to take notes and give you time to answer them all at the end.
My name is Tom Fraser. My wife and I have been residents and business owners in Phoenicia for 25 years now. We brought a business up from the city, and I've always felt that the nice thing about Phoenicia is that it is, like a lot of small towns up in the Catskills, are a blend of businesses coexisting with residents. We obviously have to coexist together, and the businesses that were here in the past brought people to Phoenicia, whether it was the hemlock industry for the tanning and the bluestone quarrying. This is a town that is businesses with residents, quite apart from the fact that it's always been a tourist town, even in the 19th century. That's what makes Phoenicia great, and it makes what Phoenicia, exists in terms of bringing people here. I am speaking today as an advocate for the Rail Explorers because I am a business owner myself, and all of the businesses in Phoenicia exist symbiotically. I'm a lodging business. We're good for the shopping, we're good for the restaurants, we're good for the recreation. Vice versa, the restaurants are good for me. All of the businesses coexist symbiotically, and I think this is another business that will be very good for Phoenicia. In a sense, actually, we're lucky that they're coming to Phoenicia because it's a business that seems to be very unique. And unique businesses bring people to our area. You come to Phoenicia for tubing, you don't go to Fleshman's for tubing. If we've got something like the Rail Explorers, which in my experience from my lodging business is already generating excitement and bringing people to Phoenicia just because of them. There's not too many businesses that can say they bring people to Phoenicia just because of the business. Sweet Sue's does, of course, it's famous. I'm a lodging business, but people want to come to Phoenicia, so I provide them with lodging. This is a business that I think is going to be a good thing for Phoenicia. The other thing I want to speak about is I'm also a resident of Lower High Street, opposite where they're going to be conducting their business. And I noticed there's been a bit of pushback from residents down there. Bob addressed some of the things about the cars on Lower High Street. I understand that, and I know that it's a balancing act with residents, having a business operating and them coexisting. I understand that balance has to be addressed. I appreciate that Bob said that the cars should exit towards Phoenicia, because I'm an advocate of that as well, even though it brings the traffic past my house. I also have a business in Phoenicia, so that's the direction that the traffic will go. And that's what we want the people to do. Even if they're coming on Route 28 and exit into Lower High Street, do the Rail Explorers, then we want them to come to Phoenicia. Eat, lodge, whatever it is. So I'm fully an advocate for them and support them, and I think Phoenicia is lucky to have them. Thank you.